You ever see blue and red lights flash across your front yard and just know the universe is about to put on a show? That was me, standing in my living room, coffee halfway to my lips, watching my security feed as two cops stormed through the Willowbrook Estates gate like they were starring in their own buddy cop movie. And who's dead center on my porch but Karen Whitfield herself, the president of our HOA, local queen bee, and, apparently, now the self-appointed sheriff of my life. She's waving a shiny key in the air, yelling at my locked door, so fired up her face was. The color of a ripe tomato. But here's the thing. Inside, my 12-year-old son Leo is cool as a cucumber, just filming everything on his phone like it's a school project, not a real-life episode of Cops. What Karen doesn't know yet is that in a couple minutes, she'll be the one answering the tough questions, not asking them. This is how the mighty HOA president learned, in front of the whole neighborhood, that just because you think you run the show, doesn't mean you get to barge into someone else's life, or their house. Now, I'm Marcus Chun, single dad, software engineer, mostly just trying to live a quiet life. About 3 months back, Leo and I moved into Willowbrook Estates. Gated community, good schools, nice lawns. It was supposed to be the American dream. Or at least the version you see on a real estate flyer. And honestly, for about 5 minutes, it was. Then Karen happened. Karen treats her HOA badge like it's a sheriff's star and a judge's gavel. Rolled into one. Day one. She clocked Leo walking home alone from the bus stop and cornered me in the driveway, giving me that sugar-sweet tone folks use when they're about to insult you and want to sound helpful doing it. Maybe, she suggested, I ought to look into after-school care. Single parents, sometimes struggle with supervision. Now, I could have lost it right there. But I kept my cool, told her Leo was 12, smart, and honestly probably more responsible than half the adults in this neighborhood. I work from home, I said. I keep an eye on him. We have a security system, he's fine. But Karen doesn't let go. The next week, she starts inventing rules on the fly. Suddenly, there's a new policy about kids under 16 not being allowed home alone. I asked to see the bylaw. She told me they were being updated, and I'd get a copy soon. You'll be shocked to hear. That copy never showed up. Over the next few weeks, Karen's concern gets weirder. Every afternoon, right on schedule, her silver SUV crawls past my driveway, just as the school bus lets off. Sometimes she parks across the street and just watches. Leo asks me, Dad, why is that lady always staring at our house? What do you even say to that? And then, here's where the real circus starts. One Tuesday, I'm in the middle of a big conference call with Japan when my phone starts blowing up. My security app's alerting me. Someone's jamming a key into our front door over and over, but can't get in. I pull up the feed, and there she is, red-faced and muttering about a master key and an HOA welfare check. She starts shouting at Leo through the door, demanding he let her in. My heart's pounding, but Leo? He's a champ. Just like we practiced, he presses the panic button, the house seals, cameras everywhere turn on, and I talk to him through the speaker. You're safe. Stay put. Instead of leaving, Karen doubles down. Now she's on her phone, dialing 911. Turns on the waterworks, tells the dispatcher there's an abandoned child inside, maybe hurt, and she can't get in to help. Oh, and she's authorized HOA personnel. She's making me out to be the villain, and herself the hero. Soon as she hangs up, I'm calling 911 myself, explaining the real story. My kid's fine, but a woman who doesn't belong is trying to break into my house. The dispatcher says officers are already headed there. I shut down my meeting, break about 7 traffic laws, and race home. When I turn the corner into Willowbrook, the whole block's washed in. Those flashing cop lights. Karen's on my porch, arms flailing, yelling about child endangerment and negligent parenting. 2 officers, Martinez and Thompson, are standing by, looking like they wish they were literally anywhere else. Leo, bless him, is cool as ever, talks through the doorbell cam to the officers, tells them he's okay, just doing his math homework, his dad is on his way. When I get there, Karen spins around, points at me, and says, That's him. That's the father who left his child alone. Officer Martinez gives me this look, half exhausted, half trying not to laugh, and quietly asks me what's actually going on. I pull out my own house key, unlock the door in one try. Karen's supposed master key dangling from her hand like a prop from a bad play. I step inside. There's Leo at the table, pencil in hand, cool as a cucumber. The officers check him out, confirm he's safe, has food, water, and knows how to reach me. No drama, except for the one standing on my porch. That's when I pull up our security footage on the TV for everyone to see. We watch Karen's greatest hits, her marching up, key in hand, trying to get into the lock for nearly 10 minutes. Before even calling the cops, you could hear a pin drop in my living room. Officer Thompson looks at Karen, deadpan. "Ma'am, where'd you get that key?" She stammers something about HOA emergencies and safety protocols, then admits she'd copied a maintenance key during an earlier inspection just in case of an emergency. The officers exchange that look, like, here we go again. Turns out, making copies of a homeowner's key without permission is, you guessed it, not just against the rules, but straight up illegal. That's when I bring out my real ace, my Karen dossier. Weeks worth of screenshots showing her fake rules, notes on every time she's parked outside my house, even witness statements. Mrs. Rodriguez, my neighbor, even sent her doorbell cam footage, 20 straight minutes, of Karen just sitting in her car, staring at my front door. Officer Martinez's face hardens. He tells Karen that filing a false police report is a big deal, an actual crime, not just a slap on the wrist. The more he talks, the smaller Karen looks. All the neighbors have started to casually water their plants, check mail, peek out from their windows. Everybody's watching. A couple people are even filming. Thompson asks to see the bylaw giving Karen the right to enter a resident's home. She tries to bluff, but he cuts her off. No HOA policy trumps state property law, ma'am. You can't enter a private home without permission. And then, best line of the day, he says, "Karen Whitfield, you're being cited for attempted unlawful entry and false reporting to emergency services." You could hear the air go out of her. She sputters about protecting the neighborhood, but the officers are done listening. I tell them I'll be pressing charges. Karen goes pale. The fallout? Oh, it's just getting started. The next HOA meeting is packed. People I'd never seen before come out of the woodwork. The room is humming. Everybody wants to see the showdown. I bring my lawyer, Jacob Morrison, who specializes in HOAs and, honestly, has a look like he's been waiting his whole career for a case like this. He lays everything out. Unauthorized key copying, attempted break-in, harassment, false reporting. It's all right there, black and white. He even calls for a full audit on key control. Wants to know if Karen's made any more emergency copies for her friends. The other board members start scrambling. Tom Bradley, the treasurer, admits Karen tried to sneak through a welfare check rule without their sign-off. Sarah Kim, the secretary, produces the meeting minutes showing they all shot that idea down. Nobody wants to go down with Karen's ship. When the vote of no confidence comes up, it's unanimous. She's out. Even her closest cronies don't stick their necks out. Karen jumps up, knocking over her chair, yells, "You'll regret this. This whole place will fall apart without me," and storms out like a villain in a soap opera. But karma's only just clocked in. The cops fine her $5,000 for the false police report. The unlawful entry charge, since she premeditated it with the copied key, gets bumped up to a misdemeanor. Her precious real estate license gets suspended. When my lawyer takes her to court for harassment and emotional distress, especially what she put Leo through, the judge doesn't hold back. She has to pay us $15,000 in damages and legal fees, gets slapped with a permanent ban from ever serving on an HOA board again, 100 hours of community service, and best of all, a restraining order that keeps her 100 feet away from our home. I'll never forget the look on her face when the judge read the verdict. The same woman who used to strut around barking orders is now standing there shaking, tears streaking her face, her world basically crumbling in her hands. You'd think she'd finally get it. Some doors, once you force them open, you can't close again. So yeah, Karen Whitfield spent years trying to control everyone around her, and that October, she finally unlocked the one door that led straight to her own downfall. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Where's the line between community safety and plain old power trip? Would you have handled things differently, or did justice get served here? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me your HOA horror stories or where you stand on the whole power versus privacy thing. And hey, if you've ever had to stand up to a neighborhood tyrant, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your story. Trust me, you're not alone. 9.